Good evening, and welcome to the 19th Annual Town Meeting. I am Jim Mensching from Itasca Bank and Trust Company, and I will function as the moderator for this evening. For the past 18 SHAPE Town meetings, you were used to seeing Jack Mensching, my brother, sit on this stage. Jack retired from the bank as president in 2017 and as chairman last February. He very much enjoyed hosting these meetings and is very proud of the impact these meetings had on the communities. So now you're stuck with me. So we are very pleased to welcome the taxing bodies that are here with us tonight for the program. We hope all of you have found the previous town meetings informative and a good vehicle to have your questions answered. We are excited to have a lot of you at home and in person here tonight. Each speaker will have a chance to talk about their recent accomplishments and future plans for their organization. After everyone has had an opportunity to speak, we will entertain questions from you in person and at home. For those of you who are watching from home, please email questions to shapeofaddison@addison-il.org. So it's shapeofaddison@addison-il.org, or phone them in to 630-693-7950. That line will be open between now and 8:15. That should be on your screen during the program, so you should be able to see that. For those of you with us in person, we ask that you write out your questions and turn them into Eileen in the back, who will be around to collect them throughout the program. I will then read the questions so that everyone can hear them and direct them to the proper party. We will try to answer all of your questions if time permits. The only thing that we ask is that your questions be non-political and not get personal. Questions of that kind will not be read, as they are not appropriate for this forum. We have till the end of the meeting at 9 p.m. We have asked that the speakers to answer questions as quickly as possible. There have been many exciting developments and happening and issues this past year. We should have lots of questions. We will need questions for you to make this work well. Our speakers tonight are going to be Chris Bollig, Board President, Addison School District Number 4, Donna Kraft Kane, Board President, DuPage High School District 88, Brock Harrion, Fire Chief, Addison Fire Prevention District, Michael Capizano, Board President, Addison Park District, Christopher Pudelik, Board President, Addison Public Library, Bobby Hernandez, Supervisor, Addison Township, and Tom Huntley, Mayor, Village of Addison. Many of our speakers have brought people from their organizations to manage any questions which may be technical. Our first speaker tonight will be Chris Bollig, President of Addison School District Number 4, Board of Education. Chris has been a resident in town for 7 years. He has been on the Okay. That's not right. She's been on the board for 5 years and with just under 1 year as president. Addison School District was established by a local resident in April of 1842. The Board of Education consists of 7 elected members of the Addison community. The elementary school district employs over 500 people to serve nearly 4,000 students in 9 schools. The district has 4 Board of Education's 5-year goals focus on providing rigorous learning opportunities while supporting the needs of all students and employees and operating with fiscal responsibility. The future is very bright for the Addison School District. Chris?
Thank you very much, and thank you to Itasca Bank and Trust for sponsoring this annual event, and also to the Village for hosting. As mentioned, we do have some folks in the audience. Our superintendent is here on the panel with me, but Zach Frangidaskis, Eddie Castillo, Sergio Ruffalo, and Dave Williams are in the audience. I'll thank them for being here. I think we're all much more accustomed to Dave being up here, and I think he's enjoying his spot in the audience this evening. Despite having different backgrounds and perspectives, our board is well aligned on our priorities. And those are delivering the very best for the children of Addison as measured by student outcomes and achievement results, while being as responsible and thoughtful as possible as a taxing body for our entire community. In the area of student outcomes, the district has recently implemented several focused initiatives aimed at increasing classroom rigor and elevating student achievement. We are pleased to report that our schools again demonstrated an improvement in last year's state assessments, and we want to share some specific student growth data that we are extremely proud of. Based on our local reading curriculum assessments, the percentage of students in our monolingual programs who were on or above grade level rose from 32% to 46% from the start of this year, noting that, again, we're just halfway through the year. For our dual language program, the percentage of students who were on or above grade level rose from 12% to 28%. State assessment MAP data shows that all 9 of our grade levels met or exceeded the growth targets for reading as of this winter benchmark and are well on our way to hitting grade level targets by the end of the school year, which is when grade level achievement would be expected. In math, the median percent progress towards typical growth for grades K through 5 is at 63%, with our end of year goal being 70%. So well on track to meet and even significantly exceed that goal by the end of the year. And we largely attribute this to the implementation of a new math curriculum program, iReady, which we launched at the junior high in this upcoming 26-27 year. Overall, we've observed significant gains this school year and look forward to continuing to set increasingly higher targets for ongoing academic achievement. As we continue to prioritize purposeful professional development to strengthen instruction and support success for all students across the district, we also have had a continued focus on behavioral improvements at schools through purposeful and meaningful interventions. Those results have been significant as well. I'm going to highlight specifically some data from the junior high. Looking at the past 2-year period, so measuring from January 2023, we have seen a 55% decline in office referrals for students, a 71% decline in referrals involving any type of physical aggression, and a 31% decline in any type of out-of-school suspension. As noted earlier, the board is focused on delivering all of these improved outcomes while still managing our tax levy as much as possible. In the past year, the district has reduced expenditures by approximately $2 million from the year prior, and we were able to make those reductions while continuing to fund critically necessary building infrastructure projects, things like repairs to roofs, plumbing, and replacement and updating of outdated HVAC systems. Although we must continue to stay focused on maintaining fiscal stability, we are proud that we were able to make these reductions while continuing to improve student performance as noted. ASD4 truly excels in this area, noting that across the state of Illinois, the average cost per student spent in a school district is about $20,000 a year. And in this past year, we came in at about 25% less than that amount. Our tax rate is also 30 to 50% less than several nearby neighboring school districts that, again, we are performing as well as, if not better than, on state testing platforms. So looking ahead, our spending priorities remain on supporting academic achievement and investing in critically necessary building renovations. These improvements are essential not only to support student success, but also to ensure that our schools are prepared for the continually growing role of technology in education. I would encourage all of our community members to watch our monthly Board of Education meetings on the district's YouTube channel, which is linked on the website, and thank everyone for this opportunity to share these updates on Addison School District 4. As noted, Superintendent Sutton is also on the panel, and we are happy to address any questions that come up during the Q&A segment.
Thank you. Our next speaker will be Donna Kraft Keene, Board President, DuPage High School District 88. She's been on the board for 22 years, in her position for 15, and has lived in the district for 27 years. The DuPage High School District was founded in 1918 by voters approving the creation of a community high school district for the Elmhurst Villa Park area. The high school district portion of your tax bill is 27%. The governing board consists of 7 elected members. Donna?
Okay. Thank you. I've actually lived in the district my entire life, so more than 31 years, or 27 years. But so on behalf of the DuPage High School District 88, I'd like to thank Itasca Bank and the Village of Addison for this opportunity to share highlights and news from the district, which is composed of Addison Trail and Willowbrook High Schools. I would also like to thank the District 88 Board of Education members who are here this evening, as well as administrators who are in attendance and those that are watching at home. At District 88, we offer a comprehensive curriculum that includes more than 30 advanced placement college-level courses and more than 50 dual credit and collegiate credit courses in 18 career pathway areas, along with award-winning fine arts programming. We are proud to have a diverse learning community and focus on meeting the needs of each student and providing multiple and flexible pathways to help ensure students are prepared to accomplish their post-high school goals. We recently implemented a career pathway graduation requirement where all District 88 graduates must have a post-secondary commitment and complete at least one career-related experience. This school year, we're proud to share that Addison Trail and Willowbrook have received very positive rankings from great schools and are considered to be performing above average compared to public and charter schools in Illinois with the same grade levels. Willowbrook earned a college readiness rating of 9 out of 10 and outperforms 86% of the similar schools in Illinois, and Addison Trail earned a college readiness rating of 8 out of 10 and outperforms 77% of similar schools in Illinois. Both schools also have achieved status as best high schools through U.S. News & World Report and earned high national and metro area rankings in the 2025-26 best schools, high school categories. Addison Trail and Willowbrook again received a summative designation of commendable on the 2025 Illinois report cards, which is the second highest level. According to the Illinois State Board of Education, a school's annual summative designation describes how well an individual school is meeting the needs of all of its students across a range of academic and student success indicators. District 88 is above the state level in several areas, including graduation rates, percentage of freshmen on track to graduate, growth in English, language arts, and math, and 3 summative designation meta indicators components. For more successes, we encourage you to visit our online data dashboard at dupage88.net/strategic plan dashboard, which correlates to our updated strategic plan that was approved in June of 2024. Our students continue to succeed inside the classroom and beyond the local and state and national levels. Academic highlights so far this year include Addison Trail seniors Emily Moy and Mary Therese Tamadong were named as commended students in the 2026 National Merit Scholarship Program. 45 seniors were named as 2026-27 state scholars by the Illinois Student Assistance Commission. 40 Addison Trail students earned academic honors from the College Board National Recognition Program. Addison Trail senior Katerina Marachi, who is a student in the Criminal Justice Program at Technology Center of DuPage, was recognized as TCD Student of the Month. And the performing arts, 5 Addison Trail students and 1 Willowbrook student were selected to be part of the 2026 Illinois High School Theater Festival All-State Company for the all-state production of Newsies. The show was directed by Addison Trail Theater Director Anna McSweeney and the District 88 System and Theater Specialist Alex Hola served as the technical director. 6 Addison Trail students were also named as all-district musicians by the Illinois Music Education Association. In athletics, Addison Trail junior Nathan Gunderson competed in the Illinois High School Association, or IHSA, boys cross-country state meet. Other successes so far this school year include Addison Trail senior Julia Eboli was honored by the Addison VFW Post 7446 and the Post Auxiliary for her participation in the Voice of Democracy program and received a certificate of merit for being an outstanding spokesperson for freedom. And Addison Trail and Willowbrook were honored and recognized by the Northeast DuPage Special Recreation Association, or NEDSTRA. The schools were named as recipient of the 2025 Superstar Friend Award. And District 88 families represent about 50 languages, and one of our strategic plan areas of focus is to increase student belonging through reflecting diverse student voices and experiences. This year, we have hosted very successful gatherings to recognize and celebrate the diverse cultural backgrounds of our students with events such as the International Dance Fest, Kermés Fest, La Posada, BIA, and the Blacktopia Conference, and more. Last year, more than 200 District 88 students earned the State Seal of Biliteracy and/or the State Commendation toward Biliteracy in 11 different languages. This recognition is awarded to graduating high school students who have demonstrated a high level of proficiency in English and in reading, writing, listening, and speaking in another language. With regard to finances, we maintain a stable budget to be fair and fiscally responsible to our taxpayers. We are proud to have recently maintained our financial rating of a AA1 from Moody's, which is the second highest rating, as well as the highest of 4 levels of recognition for the Illinois State Board of Education. With regard to property taxes, about 28.3% or 3 cents of each dollar goes to support District 88. And in terms of our facilities, the district has completed a long-range facilities plan with our architects to ensure that we are able to meet the needs of our more than 1 million square feet of facilities throughout the district. Recent and upcoming updates at Addison Trail include the practice turf field replacement, temperature control improvements in the field house and the East Gym. We also invite you to attend our upcoming task force committee meetings on January 26th and February 19th. The task force will play an important role in evaluating a funding proposal that could appear on the November 2026 ballot to address the facility improvements at Addison Trail and Willowbrook High Schools, including safety and security upgrades, addressing aging infrastructure, ADA accessibility, and improvements to career and technical education CTE spaces. The potential proposal would fund these essential updates at both facilities without a net tax rate increase. To register, you can go to dupage88.net/taskforce form. We know our success is a result of our partnerships, and we look forward to working with the community to keep improving our schools. We value open and transparent communication with our stakeholders, and we encourage everyone to visit our website, electronic newsletter, and social media to stay up to date with the happenings of our schools. Go to dupage88.net/communications for more information, and thank you for your continued support of the students, staff, and entire learning community at District 88. Thank you.
Thank you, Donna. Our next speaker is Brock Harrion, Fire Chief, Addison Fire Protection, 29 years on the board, 1 year in your position. The Addison Fire Protection District was founded in 1847 by a referendum of incorporation on February 27th, 1946. The Fire Protection District portion of your tax bill is 9%. The governing board consists of 3 elected trustees. Brock?
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Brock Harrion. I'm the fire chief for the Addison Fire Protection District, and I'm a Swiftie. No, sorry, wrong speech. Sorry about that. On behalf of myself, Board President Charlie Baxa, Secretary Joe Severino, and Treasurer Mike Super, who all apologize for not being able to make it tonight. I'd like to thank the Village of Addison and Itasca Bank for hosting this annual event. Additionally, I'd like to thank all the residents, both in the village and in the district, that are here in person and watching online. I'm here tonight with Deputy Chief Chris Mansfield and Fire Marshal Dan Medina. In 2025, the fire district's experienced its highest call volume again, by about 5,800 calls, 5,828 calls. It's a slight increase from 2024. EMS continues to account for the majority of our calls, about 71%, approximately 4,200 calls, and we also responded to 135 fire-type calls. District highlights. We put in service the 2024 Pierce Sabre engine, the demo engine we purchased at the end of 2024 using our capital apparatus fund and the selling of our 2014 Quint. We put in service the 2025 Pierce Enforcer engine. This was purchased in the spring of 2023. Lastly, we put into service a 2022 Suffin Heavy Rescue that we purchased used from Elkhart, Indiana. This purchase was made, again, using our apparatus capital fund and selling our other 2014 Quint. This purchase helped us replace 3 trailers, 2 of which were over 30 years old. This added increased capabilities to our entire organization. Thank you. Demolition began in fall of 2024 to replace our training tower built in 1993. The training tower was completed in September of 2025, and it is a 4-story metal can structure. The new facility has 3 burn rooms on 3 different floors, multiple doors to provide different entry points, multiple windows to practice different ladder evolutions, multiple dividers to change room layouts, a basement window prop, a firefighter through the floor prop, balconies, rope rescue props, just to name a few. Additionally, we added a 2-story standalone outbuilding as our tower shop, and we'll have a confined space prop, SCBA challenge maze, and a roof simulator. And other additional door props, burglar bar props, and garage door props. This purchase was made using our capital dollars set forth for the training tower. The Fire District received a SAFER grant for 3 personnel in 2024. For a variety of reasons, we have not received any payments in 2025. Hopefully in 2026 we will be able to recover some of those costs. BC John Sullivan retired after 26 years with the district. We are currently working his replacement by hiring a new firefighter paramedic. We hired a full-time fire prevention public education specialist, and then in 2025, retired Chief Tim Deutschel passed away after retired. He gave 33 years of service to the district. In our 2026 plans, we ordered a brand new battalion chief command pickup that we should receive in the fall of 2026. This is going to replace our 2015 SUV. We ordered 3 ambulances with an expected delivery time of 2027. These are to replace 2 2016s and 1 2017 ambulance. The district looks to complete 2 grant-funded station projects, one to replace the concrete apron at Station 1, Addison Road, and the other to replace the entire driveway at our Station 2 on Vista. Weather precluded us from getting this done in 2025. We are scheduled for CPSC reaccreditation, and we are up for our ISO evaluation. We are also looking to do our 10-year replacement cycle of turnout gear for the firefighters. Additionally, we are starting planning for remodeling or other construction needs at all of our 3 stations, most notably Fire Station 1. Fire Station 1 is 30 years old, again on Addison Road. Fire Station 2 is 55 years old on Vista, and Station 3 is 25 years old. Supply issues continue to affect the district and the vendors associated with us. Ambulances now cost just under $500,000 and take approximately 2.5 to 3 years to build. Fire engines cost over $1 million, take 3 years to build, and the aerial devices are over $2 million and take over 4 years to build. Currently, purchasing apparatus and station remodels are large capital projects and involve smart planning and budgets. And lastly, and I hope to kind of speak for everybody up here, all entities up here are a part of a social media group where we share information regarding ACT events and other activities going on. I know how important it is to get the information to you in a timely manner, but the right information is also important. We all work together to share the same message so there is no miscommunication with any of our messaging. I would encourage everyone to visit our website at addisonfire.com, where you can readily view our programs we offer: first aid, CPR, Stop the Bleed, our help program, and those are just to name a few. I would encourage you to like us or follow us on other social media platforms. Our website has our contact information for Chris, Dan, and I, and if there's anything we can assist you, please contact us. And I would like to thank everyone for your time and your participation tonight.
Thank you, Brock. Now's a great time to get questions up here for the first 3 speakers while it's all fresh in your mind. Our next speaker will be Michael Capizano, Board President, Addison Park District. He's been on the board for 26 years, in his position for 9 years, and lived in town for 36 years. The Addison Park District was formed in 1969, which grew out of the former Addison Recreation Commission. The Park District portion of your tax bill is 5.06%. The governing board consists of 5 elected members. Michael?
Hello, and everyone, and thank you for coming out and tuning in tonight. I'm Michael Capizano, President of the Addison Park District Board, and I'm excited to share some of the great things happening around Addison. First, a big thank you to Rob Bond, our Executive Director, for joining us tonight and for all the hard work he's put into the district. Also, I want to give a shout out to my fellow board members. If you're in the audience, please stand and be recognized. Frank Angiulo, Dean Statopoulos, Mike Clementi, and Stacy Ruffalo. We really appreciate your dedication. Also, we wouldn't be here today without the Itasca Bank and great support of the Village of Addison's governing body. Their collaboration really makes this a fantastic community to work, live, and play in. And of course, I can't forget our volunteers. We've seen a great uptick in volunteer involvement, especially with athletics, special events, and we're very grateful for that. We've got some exciting leadership updates. Beginning in January 2025, the Addison Park District Board of Commissioners began an executive director search. We're thrilled to introduce our executive director and new leadership team he has assembled for the Addison Park District. They are Rob Bond, our executive director, Sheila Ladding, Superintendent of Business Services, Mike Contreras, Superintendent of Recreation and Revenue Facilities, Evie Olachek, HR and Risk Management, Ashley Proksa, Preschool Coordinator, Stephanie Hildenbrand, Recreation Manager for Youth Programming, Emmanuel Chavez, Parks Maintenance, Stephanie Mondragon, our Sports Coordinator. By the way, we're also hiring. Whether you're looking for a part-time role or a more specialized position, we've got spots for you across the departments. Check out addisonparks.org for details. Let's talk about some great recent improvement projects and about our destination parks. With the assistance of the Illinois OSLED grant, we were able to leverage OSLED's matching grant program that required a minimum 50% local funding. That means us, folks. The OSLED grant is funded by the real estate transfer tax. This is not a new tax or a made-up tax. Lake Manor Nature Preserve. We're so excited to have completed the Lake Manor Nature Preserve restoration project, made possible by leveraging the OSLED grant of $396,250. This year's $792,500 project included passive and active recreation with native plantings, clearing of invasive species, new fitness equipment and play areas for all ages, a fishing station, picnic shelter, new pergola, and refurbished boardwalk, and a beautiful enhanced walking track. It's a great place to visit, take photo opportunities for proms, weddings. We can't wait for the official grand reopening. At Community Park, with another OSLED grant of $600,000, we've leveraged and been working on developments in excess of $1,200,000 of Community Park. Here's what's coming soon. 4 pickleball courts, upgraded basketball courts and futsal court, an updated walking path and seating areas, shade structures, a fresh coat of paint on the free splash pad, and new furniture. The grand reopening is planned for late spring of 2026, so mark your calendars. It's going to be a very special time to come to a destination park. At Centennial Park, we're also making improvements. Thanks to a third OSLED grant of $600,000, the park's getting in excess of $1,200,000 for redevelopment. Our new ADA compliant Porn Place playground, more fitness stations, a rain garden, new courts for tennis and futsal, redevelopment of the baseball and soccer fields, a ton of new pickleball courts and seating, a refurbished fishing pier and footbridge. We'll be celebrating the grand reopening alongside the baseball season's opening weekend. Some of our facility updates, let's talk about those. Community and Centennial rec centers. Both entryways are now ADA accessible, making it easier for everyone to get in and out and enjoy all of our offerings. Plus, we're reopened and updated the Centennial walking track. It's free for in-district residents. So it's a great opportunity during these cold months to come in, take a walk, take a stroll at your leisure, and it's free. Club Fitness, we made some really cool updates at Club Fitness with new equipment. We have 7 brand new Matrix Performance treadmills, 3 Matrix bikes, 4 new Matrix ellipticals. We're also refreshing the Performance Training Improvement pit area with new paint, signage, and high-impact training. Our Golf Dome, if you haven't checked out the Golf Dome recently, you should. Every bay now features Top Tracer technology, which competes with Top Golf and allows you to track your shots, play virtual courses, and more, all within a climate-controlled 72 to 73 degree indoor greenery with trees, sand traps, and grass. It's a fun experience. We're also looking into leagues and programming to make it better. Our Putter's Peak. Our mini golf is set for a refresh. It's including turning the volcano waterfall on, updating the putting services, and adding some fun aesthetic improvements. Plus, we're opening the indoor space for private rentals during the off-season. Programming and highlights and community events, we've had a busy year with tons of programs, and we're seeing strong participation across the board. Some of our most popular offerings included before and after school care, as well as spring, summer, winter camps. We've also seen an increase in facilities utilizing the Child Care Assistance Program for services. It's wonderful. Many of our events that sell out quickly include, and mark this down if you have some children, is Breakfast with Santa. Santa received over 75 letters from children throughout Addison. Our Polar Express and our Candy Carnival. Our summer camp and our POW to Cancer 5K, which recorded 312 participants this year and is growing in popularity and the amenities that we're going to be providing to it. Also, we're proud to say the Addison Senior Club is one of the largest, most active in DuPage County. Our senior members meet weekly, and we've even added some overnight trips to our 55 and over programming. Some ongoing and upcoming events, and here's some that you really should check out. Our Winter Blues Pickleball Tournament is February 21st. I'll repeat that one because we have a big uptick in pickleball. Winter Blues Pickleball Tournament, February 26th of this year. Our preschool open house is March 12th, 2026. Folks, you have preschoolers, you have to come and see what we have to offer. It's great. We have Breakfast with the Easter Bunny on March 21st. It's followed by the free Easter egg hunt. We put out over 5,000 Easter eggs. All the children are sectioned off, so you're not going to have your itty-bitties up with older kids. Everybody's sectioned off. It's a great time. The Easter Bunny's there, and Easter Mike is there, and so is Easter Dean Statopoulos. And of course, our summer camp is just around the corner, running from June 1st to August 7th. We're really dedicated to our outreach and engagement. We're continuing to grow our community outreach efforts with a focus on increasing our online presence and translating materials to make everyone stay informed. We also formed an outreach committee to help improve communication with the public. We offer a scholarship program. Hey folks, we believe everyone, and I think that's what we do in Addison. Everyone should have access to our programs regardless of their financial situation. That's why we offer scholarships through the Addison Park and Recreation Foundation to ensure that all residents have the opportunity to participate regardless of economic hardships. If you or someone you know can benefit from this, please reach out to us, and it'll stay confidential. Looking ahead, the future of the Addison Park District, we're planning and implementing and have a lot to look forward to. We're finalizing our 10-year master plan, which will guide the next decade of development for our park. A new asset management system will help us proactively maintain and upgrade our facilities. This program's integration will ensure district-wide ongoing maintenance for perpetuity throughout administration changes. We're looking at playground renovations with plans to overhaul 1 to 2 playgrounds every year. Moving forward at a minimum cost of $250,000 for each new playground. The costs are escalating, folks. We're also working on a pavement replacement plan to address crumbling paths and parking lots in a sustainable way. We're planning to revamp our website by early 2027. And in closing, that's just a quick overview of what's happening with the Addison Park District. And then, as always, make sure to check out addisonparks.org for the latest information. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram to stay up to date daily. And don't forget to look at our spring activity guide coming out Friday, February 20th. Hey, thanks for being part of our community, and we look forward to seeing you at our parks. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Easter Mike. Our next speaker is Christopher Budelic, Board President, Addison Public Library. Been on the board for 4.5 years, in the current position 2.5 years, and lived in town for 37 years. In 1962, the village approved a referendum request to establish a tax-supported library. The voters of Addison passed the referendum with a vote of 437 to 69. The library portion of your tax bill is 5.5%. The library board consists of 7 elected trustees. Christopher?
Thank you. Thank you to Itasca Bank and Trust for sponsoring the Shape of Addison again this year, and thank you to the Village of Addison for hosting this event. I'd like to recognize my fellow trustees, Vice President Donna Rebelletti, Treasurer Pamela Navraki, Secretary Maria Piscopo, and trustees Sophia Neary, Angelo Sellis, and Kathleen Willis. Also joining me tonight is our library director, Mary Meggio. At the Addison Public Library, our mission is to provide opportunities to explore, create, and connect while supporting lifelong learning and literacy. This mission guides everything we do. Over the past year, we served 12,127 library card holders with 1,158 new library cards issued in 2025. Our highest month for signups was in September during the nationwide library card sign-up month. Patrons checked out 205,231 items, including books, movies, audiobooks, and items from our library of things. That averages to about 17 items per card holder over the last year. We expanded digital access with the addition of Canopy, giving cardholders free access to high-quality films, documentaries, and educational content, also helping residents save on subscription costs. Staff answered 7,341 reference questions and completed 1,569 one-on-one appointments in 2025, offering personalized support with technology, job applications, online forms, creative services, and more. These numbers reflect real community members, students, families, job seekers, seniors, all finding resources, assistance, and new interests at the library. One of the most visible milestones of the year has been our ongoing building renovation project, which is well underway and moving forward on schedule. Renovation of the 3rd floor is complete, and we are nearing completion of the 2nd floor work. So far, patrons are already seeing renovated study rooms, a new public computer area, a redesigned teen space, and reorganized collections and new seating areas. In the final months of the project, we're looking ahead to a new drive-up window, the opening of our makers space, lobby improvements including automatic front doors, and a brand new play space in the children's area. We anticipate the project will be finished in May, and we look forward to welcoming the community into a more improved, engaging, and user-friendly library. We invite everyone to stop by and see the improvements firsthand. Our library programs remain focused on community interests and practical benefits. For teens, programs that encourage entrepreneurship by giving students the chance to pitch smart and imaginative business ideas while gaining real-world experience and public speaking skills along the way. Through our Lunch Bunch program, where library staff make visits to Indian Trail Junior High School to share stories during lunch, encouraging the use of the library and promoting lifelong learning and reading. For adults, our Free Time Fridays offer opportunities for shared connection and creativity through crafts, games, and fellowship. In a new community initiative last year, we maintained a garden plot at the Addison Park District's community garden at Old Mill Park, inviting the community to join in the planting and maintenance and the opportunity to meet your neighbors here in Addison. We also partnered again with the Addison Historical Society for several programs, including the popular Ghosts of Addison program back in October, which brought in a record 78 attendees to explore local history. This year, we will have more collaborative events with the Addison Historical Society, especially as we celebrate America's 250th birthday. With literacy at the heart of our mission, we launched our new 500 Books initiative for kindergartners through fifth graders, building on the success of 1,000 books before kindergarten. Together, these programs support families as they build strong reading habits early, one book at a time. In 2025, nearly 100 children got started on their reading journeys through these programs. Lastly, for the 7th consecutive year, the library has proudly participated as a neighborhood champion in the American Express Small Business Saturday campaign. We partnered with the Addison Business Exchange to encourage shoppers to show their Addison Public Library card at participating businesses for special offers, free items, or giveaways, a community-wide effort in supporting our local business community and driving awareness of the many great businesses within our town. As we look back on this past year and look ahead, we especially want to thank our affiliated foundation, the Friends of the Addison Public Library. Their support not only helps the library fund special programs and initiatives like the free books distributed around the community from our book bike and our career online high school scholarships, as well as their volunteering and advocacy. We are also grateful to our community partners who actively collaborate with the library to serve Addison residents. And lastly, thank you to the people of Addison for continuing to use, support, and value your library. Thank you.
Thank you, Christopher. Our next speaker is Bobby Hernandez, Supervisor, Addison Township. Years in the township, 9 months. That's not a year quite yet. Yeah. Been in the position 9 months and been in town for 5 years. Addison Township was settled in 1833 by Hezekiah Dunley and Mason Smith. Township government is one of the oldest, or is the oldest form of government in America. Addison Township is one of the 9 townships located in DuPage County. Boundaries are north of North Avenue, south of Devon, east of Route 53, and west of County Line Road, encompassing most of Addison, Itasca, Elmhurst, all of Bensonville and Wooddale, and parts of Lombard and Villa Park. The board consists of a supervisor, clerk, assessor, highway commissioner, and 4 trustees. These positions are all elected. Addison Township receives 1.6% of the residents' property tax bill. Bobby?
Thank you, everyone. I want to start off by saying that it's an honor to be here as a resident of Addison, a proud father of Indian Trail students, and I look around and I am not the only new face addressing you tonight. Although I do find myself in a unique position, having defeated my predecessor. With my background in government, I have seen many of you and worked alongside you many times as district director for the 77th district, which led to our joint inauguration in April. As I was listening to the introduction, I was thinking of the first, those 9 months. It's been 8. It's been 8. My administration took office on Monday, May 19th. And it was not the most welcoming experience. But regardless of roadblocks and let's just say landmines, I am proud to sit here and address you tonight to proudly share the many accomplishments that my administration, our staff, and our board members have been able to achieve with you all, our intergovernmental bodies, alongside us working in conjunction to achieve these goals in community. But I do want to address our team members that are here present tonight. I do have Addison residents, trustee Max Ashrafi, sitting in the front row over here. We have our township administrator, Bill Velasquez, and we also have Julie Villarreal. She is our expert, our in-house expert on human services. I'm going to start off with our human services department. Our Human Services Department is experiencing a renaissance under the guidance of Julie Villarreal, who has 30 years of experience and is the most knowledgeable person in the whole state of Illinois to guide us in providing these services. Under her guidance, the township has delivered the following since she onboarded in I believe, July. So we've experienced a 260% increase in community market attendance. We now serve nearly 400 families. Many of you may recall that when my administration took office, the pantry was open for 1 day, 1 hour a week. We are now we are now open 4 hours a day with 2 different shifts. We've experienced a 400% increase in general assistance grants, administering those grants, a 50% increase in LIHEAP and utility assistance applications. We were able to serve over 500 families this Thanksgiving. This Thanksgiving with many holiday dinners. We've been able to provide over 300 gifts to many children during the holiday season with, again, the partnership of many of these intergovernmental bodies present today. We've increased our volunteer corps to about 40 volunteers that are active weekly. And I do want to thank those partners, right? They include the Northern Illinois Food Bank, the West Suburban Food Bank, the DuPage Hunger Network, the Addison Police Department, the DuPage County Sheriff, many churches from our communities. I do want to highlight the St. Philip's Church, the Henry Hyde Center, the Knights of Columbus, and the Village of Addison. Many of our early days started with really rebuilding many of the relationships that the township did not have when I took office. But we have refreshed operations at the township. We have moved human services to the front of the building. So now, if and when you go to the township building, door 1 is the principal entrance, is the primary entrance. We have moved the community market, once located in the back of the facility, to what used to be the gym. The food pantry was a service that it was, again, second thought prior to my administration. And so we have relocated that service, put it in a prime space, which is the former gym. And we have now expanded that service to where it's client choice, providing that service with dignity, and again, expanding the number of participants or recipients. We have centralized our community market operations. with the grant from the county, where we are installing a walk-in cooler to again better serve our community members. Another pride and joy at our facility is the main hall, where we now have our board meetings. We've initiated many special events in these last few months. We're really proud of having or launching our Trunk or Treat program, where we served over 500 individuals and families. We launched with a partnership from ComEd, with a sponsorship from ComEd, our inaugural Luz de los Muertos Lights Festival. But in that time, in that short time, I'm proud to say that we have saved taxpayers money by those hard-earned tax dollars by eliminating landscaping services, technology services, cable TV. All in all, we've totaled $153,000 in savings for our taxpayers with things that we have slashed at the township. Alongside that, we have diminished staff due to inefficiencies or lack of productivity, and now we are offering more with a little bit less. But I truly believe we have the right size staff to administer these services. Our mental health board recently awarded $1.1 million in grants to many nonprofit organizations throughout the township and in conjunction with the township. We look forward to working alongside them and with them to address issues like mental health, substance abuse, and trauma inflicted by many of the current activities that we're experiencing in our community. We continue to provide low-cost transportation to approximately 12,000 residents through RADU Page, and then a program that Addison Township has led and will continue to lead. But we look forward to working with many of our municipal partners in expanding transportational needs. As we look forward to 2026, I do want to provide just a brief summary of what we have looking forward to. And so we are currently engaged in a strategic plan to plan out the following 3 years. Our efforts to combat food insecurity go beyond a well-functioning community market. Later this spring, we will be launching a community kitchen where we can teach skills and utilize a community garden that has 20 community vegetable garden beds to grow fresh produce, and that will be opening on Earth Day. In 2 weeks, the township will once again be an early voting site. Early voting starts on Thursday, February 5th, and it will run all the way through Election Day, Tuesday Election Day in March. Again, door one will be the access door for that. Our mental health board is sponsoring a networking events for the not-for-profit grantees, and then we'll continue to support rally points for our veterans in partnership with county partners and the Hines VA. We plan to expand our delivery services to seniors to go beyond just bingos, but deliver educational opportunities. And then we do plan on launching a youth and family services department in conjunction with our mental health board and in partnership with the Addison Park District as we hopefully launch some outdoor activities as well. Pretty soon, for the month of February, we will be collaborating with many partners for an event, an inaugural event led by Trustee Max Asherfee, revolving around Ramadan. We look forward to celebrating the 250th anniversary of our nation as we join many festivities and honor our veterans on this up and coming 4th of July. And I'm excited to announce that on May 19th, Tuesday, May 19th, the township will have an open house on the 1-year anniversary of my tenure, where we'll offer tours, prizes, and educational events to celebrate a full year of accomplishments. I do want to give a huge thanks to my staff. I do want to apologize for the sniffles. I am feeling under the weather. But it takes, I've mentioned before how Addison, the village of Addison, is the heart of Addison Township. And I truly believe that. And so we look forward to working alongside many of our intergovernmental bodies, our partners, and we look forward to also launching a space called the Orchard, where we will host our federal partners, state partners, and others to better provide services, to provide state and federal services at the township. The township can be reached online at addisontownship.com, 630-530-8161. And yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Bobby. Welcome. Our last full speaker tonight is Mayor Tom Huntley, Village of Addison. Been on the board 26 years, been in his position 9 months, and lived in town for 38 years. The Village of Addison was established by referendum of incorporation on September 8th, 1884. The elected officials consist of a mayor, a village clerk, and 6 village trustees. The village portion of your property tax bill is 9%. Tom?
Thank you, everyone, and thank you to Itasca Bank and Trust for presenting this town hall meeting for 19 years now. We're one of only a few communities that still do events like this, that bring together all of our taxing bodies to have a dialogue with our community, presenting what we've done, and with then answering to our residents. So thank you to Jim and Eileen and everyone else at Itasca Bank who made this possible. Also, thank you to you taxing bodies who still enthusiastically participate in this. I want to recognize my colleagues on the village board, Lucille Zaccaro, our village clerk, Kathy Cluzny, our deputy mayor, and our trustees, J. Del Rosario, Sam Nasty, Dawn O'Brien, Maria Reyes, and Guy Ruggieri. I also want to introduce members of our staff who are here tonight to help answer questions. Joe Moranis, our village manager, Roy Selvik, our police chief, Consuelo Arguez, our Assistant Community Development Director, and Ryan Hayden, Public Works Director. Thank you for being here. I'm excited to be a speaker at the Shape of Addison for the first time as mayor, because anyone who knows me knows how proud I am of Addison. Our top priority is always the safety of our residents, and I'm proud to say that our police department is second to none in DuPage County. In fact, this year they were once again reaccredited by the Commission on Accreditation and Law Enforcement Agencies. This process occurs every 4 years with a full on-site assessment that evaluates all the department's policies and procedures. CLIA accreditation certifies that our police department and now our Addison Consolidated Dispatch Center are in the top 5% of law enforcement agencies in the country. We ensure that our officers receive the best training possible, and they have the tools they need to make arrests without endangering our citizens. All our sworn officers are undergone advanced driver training in the areas of emergency operations and pursuit driving. They now also have the ability to deploy GPS batons directly from their squad cars. These adhere directly to an offender's vehicle, reducing the need to engage in a high-speed pursuit. This past year, the police department also brought back a full-time dedicated traffic unit that targets areas identified as problematic. Citizens' complaints now go directly to this unit for strategic enforcement. Technology also has become an important part of law enforcement in ways we couldn't have imagined when I was first elected to the village board. Last year, the police department purchased an artificial intelligence bundle that works with officers' body cameras to assist them as well as the public. This AI can allow the camera to recognize the language someone is speaking and translate it for the officer, allowing them to help the public in a timelier manner. This technology also helps with writing police reports, cutting down the amount of time an officer needs to spend on paperwork. Technology and training can be costly, but there was an unfortunate example this couple months ago that showed the exact reason why these investments are worth it. I just want to say again how proud I am of all of our officers and how thankful I am that everyone was safe today. Our second most important priority for the village is infrastructure. Last year, Public Works oversaw $450,000 in sidewalk replacements throughout the village, installing more than 2,000 sidewalk squares and eliminating additional 122 trip hazards. They also hosted 2 recycling events, partnering with Republic Service and other agencies to help more than 400 residents at each event. Public Works manages the services our residents most rely on, and they are doing it while also managing one of the biggest projects our community has ever faced. In the Home Addition subdivision, the sewer separation project began. It involved separating the combined storm and sanitary sewers and replacing lead service lines. This $13 million project is expected to be completed this summer. However, it's also essential phase 1 of an even bigger infrastructure project to consolidate our 2 wastewater treatment plants into 1. You will hear more about it for the next few years, but this was necessitated by an unfunded EPA mandate to help reduce phosphate levels. It's something that every community is dealing with and has had to figure out how to fund. In our case, Public Works has aggressively pursued grants to help alleviate the financial burden on our residents. Last year alone, $3 million in grants were secured for this project, which leads me to another one of our priorities, financial responsibility. We are fortunate as a home rule community, we're able to balance getting funds from property tax revenues and municipal sales tax. With a strong commercial and industrial base and an outstanding professionalism in our finance department, we are accomplishing these things without overburdening our residents. In fact, in 2025, we were able to eliminate need for our residents to purchase an annual vehicle sticker. Our tax base continues to grow with new developments like Woodland Estates at Woodland Avenue and Raleigh Road, and the towns at Mill Creek at Army Trail and Mill Roads. We're also excited to see the opening of Addison Horizon, an affordable residential development for seniors which opened on Denise Court. Businesses continue not only to invest but reinvest in our community. Last year, the new Ancona Jewelers opened their new location, and Rasney Jewelers is in the middle of a $5.5 million renovation. Businesses see the value in our community, and I encourage our residents to support them in return. Lastly, in 2025, we expanded our initiatives to build community. Gaming revenue has always funded Rock and Wheels since the beginning, and that summer concert series has put Addison on the map throughout the suburbs. So we expanded our fall events with Oktoberfest and added more entertainment to our Christmas events. They were hugely successful, and bringing our residents together is, in my opinion, another investment in our village. Building community also means recognizing and thanking those who have made an impact. So we debuted our Hometown Heroes banner program, which highlighted veterans and active duty members. We plan to continue that this year as well. As I said, I'm proud of Addison and all we have accomplished in the past year. Thank you again for everyone for participating, and I look forward to your questions. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Tom. All right, we have about an hour left, so there's time to get questions in. And we should be, at this point, able to get through the questions that I have. So, get a sip of water? Yeah. Good.
And I got the sniffles that Bobby's got too, so, yeah.
So this, to the mayor, specifically the police, what can be done about parents double parking at the library after school waiting for their students? Very unsafe, and there's plenty of parking available.
I'll pass that one on to Roy since.
I can answer that. We've had that issue come up before. We have the SRO, and we usually have some of the traffic officers try to help out with that. But I haven't heard of anything recently with that being an issue, but we can definitely get them back out there to try to move the cars along. The District 4 has been a great partner in trying to coordinate traffic as it backs up onto JFK over there. Then one of our headaches is tackling the parents that try to avoid that line and go to places like the library, down Lincoln, all over the place. So we can certainly work with the library to address that.
Great. For the Addison Township, couple questions. I'm just going to combine them. Was there a promise to live stream the township board meetings? Are the meetings currently recorded? The suggestion to have them shown on YouTube, and is there any obstacles for this to be implemented?
Sure. Increasing transparency at the township is a goal that we've established during the campaign. Unfortunately, we've been hindered by upgrading our system, and at the township due to budget constraints. And so streaming board meetings is just one of our technological goals for fiscal year 2026, 2027. And then we want to expand signage and implement like a streaming service, whether it's YouTube or social media, sometime this year.
Great.
Second question?
No, they were all related to that. So, good. For the mayor, a developer recently approached the village with interest in investing here and establishing roots in the community. They moved on after being informed that there was a 100% buyout requirement. What's the board's official stance on attracting new development, and is a 10% buyout an absolute precedent for future projects? In regards,
I think they're talking about 53 Trails. So for people who don't know, 53 Trails is founded by Lombard Road, Army Trail, and 53. There was a developer that came in looking to buy the homes there. Nothing was approached to the village board, so the village board had no decision on it. It's, in my opinion, I feel that development like that needs to be 100% on board. You can't, I'm not in favor of ever annexing properties just to annex them to someday hope that they'll all want to sell, and I don't believe a developer will do that either. So, but we had told the people that lived in that area that for and against, selling, that the board would only look at anything from a developer at 100%. And the developer is not going to bring anything to us until they hit 100%.
good. For the Park District, how do our Park District taxes compare to other communities in DuPage County that have pools and park districts that don't have pools?
Thank you for that question. That's a great question. To give you an idea of where we're at as far as our levy, our taxes, the Addison Park District gets less in taxes than the library, okay? We have 28 parks. We have 4 facility buildings, not including our maintenance shop. We have ball fields. We have athletic fields, lights on the outside. As far as to give you just a general idea of the kind of money. So imagine less money than the library, which I'm a big proponent of our library. Good job, folks. We went to referendum. Anything as far as a pool is concerned, okay? The board has been very unanimous about going to the residents of Addison and having the residents decide, should we have a pool? Okay? And when you go to a pool, do you want it to be a destination pool? Something similar to Itasca? Or do you want it to be a box pool, just for laps? Okay? Also understand, my friends, we're, with the U.S. Department of Agriculture, we're in the USDA 5A zone. That means we're only going to be open 3 months out of the year. I'm all for, our board is for, providing services to the residents of Addison. If the residents of Addison want to invest money into a pool, our board's willing to go that way. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you. For the township, can the township do more senior events, such as yoga, fitness, or dancing, or bingo? And is there any plan to do any youth services?
Yeah, so as I guess stumbled during my talking points, right? But to clarify, when it pertains to senior services, in the past, I mean, in the past, senior services in the township have been focused on two primary things, and that was the benefit access discount and bingo. And so as we assess our senior services at the township, one thing we don't want to do, especially as we see ourselves as an integral partner alongside these governmental bodies, we don't want to repeat services. And so as we look forward to expanding our senior services at the township, we want to take a prolonged approach of being more educational when it pertains to, you know, how to get discounts, or how to get discounts through through their taxes with the assessor's office. How can we join those have joint programming with our youth services, our youth and family services department, and providing other educational health seminars and civics seminars at the township for our seniors. I did address the issue of, not the issue, but the topic of youth services. Early on, I did want to implement internships, but as many of you know, that during a transitionary period, maybe that's not the best time to introduce young individuals into government when there's a lot of changes going on. So now that we're more stable, this year we definitely plan on expanding those in partnership with our mental health board.
Great, thank you. For the mayor, what's the plan for the old bank property by Frankie's?
That's a privately owned property, so I know that the property owner has had some proposals that actually the board has seen, or the staff has seen, but nothing further than that. But it's a private owner, so we don't control that.
Okay. Again, for the mayor, I would like to know the village's position on enforcing parking on public sidewalks from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. 3 months ago, I entered a complaint on the Addison Connected and emailed the Civic. Over 300 cars were parked on sidewalks. I haven't seen any changes. Cars parked on sidewalks.
Well, I know that's an ordinance, but I'll let Roy answer that. I know that we try to control that. But
I'm guessing, meaning parking across the sidewalk in the driveway is what I'm guessing. And we address those as we get the complaints in. Usually they're different parts of town. One resident will call up and complain about several, vehicles parked across the sidewalk, and then we'll send an officer out there to ticket the vehicles. We try to enforce it as much as we can. It's one of those things that if we get a complaint about it, we'll enforce it. But it's a very sensitive topic because a lot of people get very upset when they get that citation for parking across the sidewalk. So We don't have them proactively out there looking for vehicles throughout town. They have calls to respond to and traffic concerns to deal with, but any complaint that we get with a vehicle parked across the sidewalk, they do address.
Thank you. This is addressed to the mayor and the township supervisor. How do you support, or do you support, the activities of ICE in the community?
You want to go first?
So I do want to say that the township, as supervisor of the township, myself and the board take the matter of ICE very seriously. And there's a unique role that the township can play when it pertains to this subject. It shouldn't be controversial it shouldn't be controversial. Well, one thing that we can all agree on is that the presence of ICE has negatively impacted our communities. And so it's impacted us in breaking trust from the community to the community's trust into some of our intergovernmental bodies. The trust has been broken. It has negatively impacted our small businesses that have been targeted, and it has inflicted trauma into many of our community members, our youth, our community members. And so focusing on those three, I guess, on those main three topics or items, that is how the township has focused or has really looked, like those are the three issues that the township has focused on and is addressing. And so in partnership, in partnership with many of these intergovernmental bodies, specifically the Village of Addison, we were able to launch a special pantry during the holidays to help some of these families impacted. Our schools were able to help out, and so it was a community effort to, again, feed families. It's something that we're proud of because it took the hard work of those first few months building up our food pantry to gain that trust of our intergovernmental partners to be able to address that particular issue in that way. I spoke about the $1.1 million that our mental health board has dispersed to many of our nonprofits and other agencies. Through funding those agencies and partners, that is how we're going to treat the trauma. And when it pertains to the trust, we, for the first time, I think, Addison Township opened its doors with events like Trunk or Treat, with events like the launch of the inaugural Luz de los Muertos, which many of these individuals were a part of. And yes, it happened to be an educational, cultural event, but within a safe campus that is the Addison Township campus. The Addison Township campus is kind of the gateway to many of the newly constructed facilities, outdoor facilities of the Park District. And so, again, when it pertains to ICE, I've shared where the Addison Township Board stands, and I've provided 3 ways that we are addressing the matter. It's kind of like responding to a tornado or a hurricane. It's not the township's role to be in the preventative, to take a preventative role. We do have proper signage and so forth at the township facility, and again, I'm speaking for the township, but that's how we plan, that's how we've dealt with that particular situation, and again, I think together.
I think Supervisor Hernandez has hit the main points. We put together most of the taxing bodies up here, grouped together to help support the communities that were hit the hardest and that lost a breadwinner. As far as what I can control, we have put up Addison only police in their parking lot, in an employee parking lot, only employees during a certain amount of time. I can't control the public parking. I've We've seen opinions from the Attorney General, a few state's attorneys, and our own attorney. I don't want to open us up to a lawsuit down the road, and until somebody can guarantee me that we would not be sued for discrimination, I can't control it. It's just, to me, it would be a resolution that would have no binding and could come back to haunt us. So my first priority is I have to protect the village from lawsuits.
Okay, for the fire district, what's the difference between the Board of Commissioners and the Board of Trustees? Are they elected or appointed positions?
So the Board of Trustees are elected, so that we have a 3-person board that handles sort of the financial governance of the district, and then we have 3 commissioners that are appointed by the board, who then do hiring and firing and anything to do with like personnel on that side, and then they just renew their terms. But the board is elected.
Thank you. For the mayor, the Addison has countless churches and places of prayer. Would the village support selling the vacant property on Lake Street or the old school on Mill to a mosque? The nearest mosque is in Lombard.
Well, we currently have a center at the old Fuddruckers. It's Islamic. We have a temple on Fullerton Avenue. But Luther Brook, and up until Friday when we finally closed on the purchase, we didn't own that property, but as of Friday we do the Mill School, but those were never on the tax rolls, and our purpose when we bought Luther Brook was to get it back onto the tax rolls to a benefit to our town. Down the road, we'd like to see retail and townhome development there, and we're looking at the same that we'd like to sell to a developer that's looking at townhomes or something on Mill. And I believe nothing else that I know of, but that covers the churches that we already currently have in town. And I believe the mosque over on Swift and Lombard, they gather from 20 communities that I know of. I've been there for something. I've also been to Shalimar. There's another place that's not a mosque, but it's a gathering event, and they have had events that I've attended there over the past few years.
Thank you. For the Park District, the meetings used to be recorded and that stopped. Can the meetings be recorded again?
The Addison Park District is, one of our priorities is transparency, and with the advent of us, it came down to economics. The bottom line was providing televised board meetings, and they were always, is Mike Kindness somewhere, they're 1 week behind, okay? They're non-edited, okay? But the escalation in cost became prohibited. We have discussed this multiple times. I've even asked somebody tonight, I said, hey, if you can donate the money to us, we'll be happy to do it, okay? But, again, it's a prioritization of where costs are. And again, we are the lowest person on the totem pole when it comes to taxing dollars and funding. We need to make every dollar count and prioritize where that money goes to.
Thank you. For the mayor, so most of the online, I'm not crystal clear on this, most of the online committees are made up of appointments from the community. Can you give a breakdown on the diversity on those committees and what plans you have to include more diverse members on those committees?
I think they're talking about the commissions, so not the online committees, but
Yeah.
we have a few. We have one commission, which is our community commission, which is made up of breakdown of our population. So we have 8 Hispanic, 8 white, currently have 1 African American. The only one I don't have filled is the Asian Hawaiian part of 1 person for that. So if anybody wants to be on a commission, you can talk to our village clerk and get application for that. I also have a Latino advisory commission, and I'm not sure the breakdown of or the diversity in the other commissions, but we have a police commission and blood bank commission. But yeah, but that's, to me, the community commission is the one that's the biggest one, and it has the diversity there of the breakdown of our population.
It's deliberate.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Again, for the mayor. Oops, that's the same one. I'm sorry. Can
okay. I would answer it
Can you
again.
give an update on how, this is kind of a 2-part question.
Yeah.
I'll ask it in 2 parts. Can you give an update on how red light cameras are used in Addison?
Well, currently, I believe only one we have is at JFK and Lake Street. And the reason we still have that is that in conjunction, I think it was a request of District 4, it helps with the, crossing in the morning. If you've ever been at that intersection, at times it can be dangerous. You have people coming in and kids walking across the street. You'll have people, parents dropping their kids off over by on the north side of Lake Street so they can do the crosswalk and everything. So at their request, and I think it's a safety issue, it's, people that are blowing the stop sign or I'm sorry, the stoplight. But that's the only one that we have in town. The rest have all been taken down. But I'm correct on that, right?
Yeah, you're correct, Mayor. That is the only one, and the primary reason that we've kept it is because of the school and the kids going across Lake Street and JFK.
The second part is related to yard signs. Does the police department have any concerns about yard signs with distracting drivers? I guess Elmhurst had a moratorium or some sort of legislation on that.
I'm not aware of, I'd have to take a look and see what Elmhurst did, but no, we haven't had any complaints as far as yard signs being distracting. I haven't had any issues with that, but I'll check to see just so we have the right information, I'll check to see what it was that Elmhurst had and if there's anything that would correlate over to us.
So all of these questions are organized and given to the taxing bodies so they can look at them and make sure they address those things and can follow up on those things. For the township, in the campaign, multiple candidates now elected referenced explained senior services modeled after Proviso Township with handyman services, snow removal assistance, and medical equipment lending. Has there been any progress on any of these things since taking office?
Sure. The beautiful thing about community and showing up and being an engaged partner is, for example, attending events like the Addison Business Exchange. Recently, the Addison Business Exchange held an event at Scarce. That allowed an opportunity for the township township officials to become familiar with the organization and its staff. And since that interaction, Scarce has donated, I want to say, about 28 pieces of medical equipment in hopes for the township to launch a medical supply lending closet. Now, the fire department, we don't want to compete with you all, but it is a service that is requested for the township that again services those beyond the village of Addison. And so during my remarks, I alluded to just some of the roadblocks, right, and that we encountered early on. And so many of those goals are still definitely on the list. And so we definitely do plan on implementing those at some point in some capacity. Again, the township is in a very unique position to achieve some of those listed goals that we did talk about. But again, in community and through key partnerships.
Good, thank you. District 88, will the taxes and/or tax rates go down if you do not pass a referendum?
So what we're looking at doing is, for those of you who've been around for a while, 20 years ago, we passed a referendum for building the future for improving both high schools. At that time, we issued $110 million in bonds. Those bonds will be paid off after 20 years, which will be next year in 2028. And so what we're looking at doing is asking for a referendum to be able to reissue the same amount in bonds, which would mean the tax rate would stay the same. If the referendum didn't pass, then obviously the bonds would be paid off and that would come off the tax rolls. But when you think about it, when we did pass the referendum originally, the tax increase was about $300 on a $300,000 house, and that's where it's remained. And so that's what we're looking at. And I believe that what we were able to accomplish 20 years ago, we've been able to also continue to maintain the buildings. And as we've identified, there are things like, our boilers are each school has 3 boilers that heat the school. We refurbished 1 boiler at each school. The others are still original, and that cost for refurbishment is, several $100,000. So those are the kind of things, some of the things that we're looking at that would not be possible to do out of just the regular revenues. So we're hoping as we engage the community and talk about it, people will understand how reality that $300 a year is minimal by what we can accomplish if we can pass the referendum. Thank you.
Thank you. For the mayor, the old Lutherbrook property, what type of project would the village be looking for that to happen there?
As I said earlier, kind of like something where retail in the front, and townhomes or something in the back. So that's more like what we're looking to see. We've had some people look at it, but nothing concrete.
It's kind of the same question about the old middle school property.
But we just bought that on Friday, so yeah. But I mean,
so
yeah.
So just so the questioners, I guess, views, could that building be used as a kids center?
No, actually, we're going to take the building down.
For the township, at a press conference, you mentioned there was a $900,000 deficit when you took office. According to the township's website, as of June 1st, 2025, the general town fund had a balance of $1,039,000, and the road fund balance was over $2,229,000. Could you explain more about that deficit and what you were referring to?
Sure. So my administration took office on Monday, May 19th, and we were expected to launch, not to launch, but to pass a budget that was prepared by the previous administration in a matter of weeks. My administration passed a budget in late August. I believe it was Thursday, August 28th. And so, yes, when we looked at the budget, and when my staff and my executive team looked at the budget, and there was a deficit where just due to high salaries and, again, the plethora of services that we were able to cut, we were able to address those needs. But I think I do have my staff. Well, our team member Julie Villarreal. She's more with our human services. Katie, Katie's not here, but I could definitely get back to you on that statement. Yeah.
We're having winter this year, so you can expect a snow plowing question. I would like to know why Lake Street is not plowed after a heavy snow. It takes 30 minutes to drive from Dappers to Village Hall when snow is 1 inch.
Is that a staff member asking that? Lake Street is a state route, so actually the state takes care of that. Addison's responsible for just the streets that we do. Township takes care of their streets. If anybody has driven off of Lake Street onto any street in Addison, I think we get compliments every year of how quickly we remove the snow and how safe our streets are. So, but yeah, that's a state route which we don't control.
For the Park District, is the Park District monitoring if any of the playground parks or tennis courts or volleyball courts need to be fixed or replaced or revamped?
Thank you. The easy, simple question is yes. And to expound on that, Rob, would you mind talking about our ongoing maintenance and moving forward with the implementation of our new CIP program?
Sure. We are in the process of onboarding with a new software system that is a capital assessment management software. Part of that onboarding is we're going to have a full condition assessment across all of our facilities, including our playgrounds, our buildings, our parkways, all of that, so that we can prioritize a capital replacement schedule over a 20-year plan that they'll help us build out and start planning accordingly for each year's work. We're also incorporating we're under the process of initiating a 10-year master plan, which will further enhance that capital improvement plan and help us really focus and prioritize where those needs are. We have playgrounds that are well over 20 years old, and that's well beyond the useful lifespan of a playground in the Chicagoland area, and we need to address that, and it's going to take a little while for us to catch up, but it's something we are setting the foundation this year to make sure that we're prioritizing across the board of all of our facilities.
May I address that previous question?
Sure. Park District's good? Yeah. Thank you.
Sorry, I was processing. Again, I'm feeling under the weather. But townships are required to at least have 6 months worth of 6 months worth of their budget as reserves, right? And so the way that the township was structured previously was tapping into those. The prior administration was utilizing and tapping funds from the reserves in order to pay off, again, salaries of a bloated staff. And so we have addressed those issues under my administration by, again, eliminating some positions, doing cuts like the $130,000+ that we've cut. But that's where that statement back in the press conference in August came from.
Thank you. For the mayor, I've attended the meeting the last 2 years. There's been mention of a community youth center. Can residents get an update on the possibility of this for our youth?
That wouldn't have come from me. I know that there was talk with the township in previous, but no, nothing that the village would be a part of.
Okay.
But
unless you want to,
I can address part.
Yeah, because
I can address part of that. So, in the past, the previous administration alluded to an organization by the name of the Alive Center that was going to come into the village of Addison to help service and administer youth programming and youth services. without taking into consideration many of the existing programming from the library, from the high schools, grade schools, and Park District, or even the village. And so when we first took office, there was this talk about this Alive Center. And while we trekked the halls of the township facility, there was nothing but dead space. And so sadly, this particular third party was going to take up a prime real estate within the facility. And so early on, I made the executive decision of not following through with that particular third-party program that was going to cost taxpayers about $180,000, $190,000 to kickstart. That did not have the support of many of these partners because they were not included in the conversations. There were follow-up conversations to try to see if it would work out. Sadly, that program was not a good fit. But as I alluded to in my previous remarks, that there are plans in partnership with the Park District of Addison for the township to launch its Youth and Family Services Department.
Rob Bond will expound a little bit about our ongoing conversations with the township, and as a matter of fact, we had a very in-depth presentation, and which is ongoing at our previous board meeting. Rob?
As mentioned, we're working in collaboration with the township on this. We want to be a partner, and we do have the space to make this possible. So we're working out details to try and be the host for the township-driven program. But this is something that we very much believe will be a tremendous impact to the community here in Addison. So we're going to make every effort we can to make it possible.
And we must emphasize, after key input from our partners to ensure that services are not being duplicated and that we are being good stewards of our taxpayer, of the hard-earned tax dollars that go into these programs.
And the youth programs that the village does have would be at the Henry High Resource Center, which is across.
Tom, we'll always accept any money that funding that the village wants to provide for this.
I guess that leads to my next question, since there's so much cooperation up here. This was addressed to the village, but what programs are available for senior citizens?
I would send that to the Park District. One of the greatest programs we've had, and ever since I've lived in the village, the senior club at the Park District I think they meet almost 5 days a week, right? And I'm fortunate enough, I see them the third Tuesday of the month, but I've also been to their chair volleyball, so that was an experience. And they're pretty rough, because when you walk into an event and you have a senior telling you, "Are you on my team?" And I said no, and they said they're going to take me down. That's memorable. But I would send it over to Mike. Yeah.
Sure. The Addison Park District, in cooperation with the village provides a yearly donation of funding, and what is it, about $16,000 a year right now, $18,000, and then the Park District picks up the rest. We're very proud of our Addison Park District Senior Club. It's not only one of the most active, it's one of the largest senior clubs in DuPage County. I also want to talk about, besides our senior club, the offshoot of it, which is our Senior and Law Enforcement Together program. Just a little background on it. I was one of the people that started it out and thought of the idea, and with Chief Mel Mack and with Karen Miller, and it turns out we have a very active Senior and Law Enforcement Together besides our senior club. Our senior club has excursions. We started doing, providing overnight trips. And our seniors are very active in pickleball tournaments. And you can go onto our website to see the multiple pages of activities for seniors within the community of Addison. So if you have a lack of activities, it means that you're not trying because they are there. Come on by.
And we also have I have a senior commission that oversees the funds that we give to the seniors for their activities.
And 100% goes
right to them, yeah.
100%.
Can we add as well, the District 88, we have the Senior Gold Card program, so if they request a gold card, they can attend all of the events at Addison Trail High School, the music events, theater events, and athletic events for free. So we welcome them in.
I'm getting there. Senior. Okay, we have about 15 minutes left, and I have about 10 or 12 questions left, so we'll need to work through these here. For the mayor, for about 1.5 years, I've been making calls regarding dumpsters and rats. They've infested our neighborhood. The apartments that are on the 500 block of East Fullerton need to be cleaned up ASAP. What's going on?
I can have staff look into that. I know the rat problem is not only to Addison, but most of DuPage County that we've heard from our county board members. One of the things we found out when it first started happening was landlords were buying smaller dumpsters instead of the ones that they needed. We worked with our waste hauler company, Republic, to get bigger dumpsters out there. But it's also, it's up to the landlords and actually the people that, apartment owners that, one of the biggest things is just closing that lid on the garbage dumpster. Because once you leave it open, it's a way to get in, just like residents at home. Make sure your dumpster's closed because the garbage can's closed because that's where the rats come in at. But we can take that question and we'll have community development take a look at it.
Great. For the mayor again, in past discussions, it was mentioned the offering of an entertainment district for youth and adult areas. What is the status of this?
I'm not sure what that is, or, yeah.
Youth entertainment district?
Yeah, unless it's talking about it doesn't ring a bell to me.
No, I would think that it's going back to the other question that was already answered.
The youth center, yeah, that's what I would think it is, yeah.
Okay. For the township, you emphasized the, collaboration, visibility, creativity in your administration compared to the prior administration. Besides the extra hours at the food pantry, what have residents seen that have been significant changes since you've come on board?
Sure, and I appreciate the opportunity to kind of elaborate a bit more on that, right? On some of the achievements. And so again, it's key to have front-facing services. When my administration started, there was a front door, and that front door led to only the assessor's office. The front entrance to the rest of the township was bricked off. And so we now have a township with a proper front entrance. We are working, we have actually brought services that were hidden upstairs in the second floor all the way in the back to the front, so we have front-facing services, and so we have increased accessibility. By doing so, I listed the percentages, which in many cases, it's over 200, in some instances 300-400%. Of the amount of output that we've had in regards to receiving applications and administering those said services. Yes, with the food pantry, it's our pride and joy. My administration and our staff and our team had the foresight of really expecting hard economic times. Now, many individuals may not be experiencing those, but those who have, our seniors, our veterans, our families in need have been able to entrust the township for those services, and we are glad to serve them with dignity. The main hall, it's a community space that, yes, we have our board meetings and our mental health board meetings. We look forward to opening that space to the public and not administering, but having or hosting key community events. I mentioned the Luz de los Muertos. We mentioned our trunk or treat. And then I highlighted, in addition to the food pantry, how we want to have a fully well-rounded food access program. Look, when addressing the food access, it can't just be one-sided, just administering food. Through the creation of a community kitchen, we can educate our families, teach them how to prep their food, how to make it last, how to shop. And with the community garden, which I discussed, I listed I named the 20 garden beds that we will be installing in the spring. Those three components will help expand our food access program. Again, in partnership with individuals like the Illinois Extension Program from UIC and other key partners. So accessibility, front-facing services, again, a full-rounded community access program, and that's just the beginning. But I do look forward for 2026, where yes, the township we've been focused very much so on the facility itself, making it make sense. Again, it just a lot of things didn't quite we're not in the right place, but now we look to kind of expand outward. The program that I mentioned when it pertains to joining these intergovernmental bodies and launching our special pantry and so forth, we look to mimic that particular program and take it to other municipalities like Bensenville, like Wooddale, and show how we can also serve those communities in partnership with their intergovernmental bodies. Addison, the village of Addison, is very unique. And so I hope it's as easy than it has been for us here in the village of Addison to do many of these programs. But yes.
Great, thank you. For the mayor, there is no overnight parking on Lincoln Avenue and Michael Lane, but cars continue to park overnight. What can be done about this?
Roy?
We can take care of it. We do, we try to hit overnight parking as much as we can. The B cars usually go out and take care of it. It's dependent on calls, though, and I know our midnight shifts have been a little busy lately, but we'll definitely make sure that they address those areas.
Another traffic question. During the summer, especially, the traffic in and out of the car wash creates a hazard. What can be done about that?
I know we've tried to we have worked with them, but, and we've had a police officer out there, but I'll let Roy talk about what has been done.
We have met with them. You're correct, Mayor. We've tried a number of other things. It hasn't worked, so we met with the business, and actually we came up pretty recently over the past year with a system that seems to work much better. They've been staffing the entrance over there. You might have seen it. And then if it starts backing up on a Lake Street, they cone it off and don't let any additional vehicles in until that line starts to get down. If vehicles continue to back up on Lake Street waiting for their turn to try to turn in after the cones are moved, then we have an officer go out there and enforce it.
And we've also put cones up to block, the other thing that we've seen happen is westbound traffic backing up or accidents happening, and so we've had them, I think it's our guys that have put the cones up, and we've stationed a squad car out there so that people don't make the left in there.
If I may, though, on the topic of traffic, for those who may not know, the township oversees about 28.2, 28.5 miles of highway throughout the township. We were honored to receive nearly $500,000 to do work on Frontage Road near Route 83 in the northeasternmost part of the village of Addison. That was thanks to the office of Congresswoman Delia Ramirez through a federal grant, and so we partnered with Bravo to do work out there. And our highway departments, under my administration, we've been hard at work, making sure that our children get safe to school, our family, their parents get safe to work, and that we have just clean roads and clean highways.
For the township, is the township is or was paying a consultant to advise the supervisor?
So I think the township, so I alluded to the roadblocks and landmines that my administration faced when taking office. There was no transition period. And so in order to advance and accomplish many of the things that we were able to do so, yes, there was a senior advisor brought on board, and that senior advisor, well, not senior advisor, but yes, a consultant who served like a senior advisor. I'm honored to say that individual by my side has helped myself and the team really achieve great things in a short amount of time. And so, yes, we had a consultant. That individual is now our township administrator, and I'm proud to say so.
Great. For District 4, was there consideration given to, before selling the old middle school, as using it as additional instructional space?
Yeah, so just for context, the Old Mill building had been a school a long time ago and had closed when enrollment declined in the community, and then we had rented it since then, most recently to a regional Department of Education office. They chose not to renew the lease recently, which caused the board to discuss at great lengths what we should do with that property. Two things, and pointing back to my opening statements, our priorities are academic achievement and minimizing the amount of taxpayer funds we're asking everyone to contribute to support our district. That building was very outdated, and in order to get it to even code, forget being a cutting-edge technology education center, would have required an investment of many millions of dollars to have it operate as a school. So if we were going to go in that direction, which we could have, there would have had to have been a pretty compelling reason or payoff. Although the junior high has a very large enrollment count, overall our enrollment has been declining. Dr. Sutton, at least 10 years, like just consistent enrollment declines in the community. And as evidenced by some of the data that I've shared, we have seen, even at that large of a school, increasing academic achievement and decreasing kind of behavioral issues that you might expect with so many children in one place. So overall, the board was very much in agreement that it did not make sense to ask the community to invest more taxpayer dollars in bringing a facility up to speed to support a district that is seeing a lower and lower amount of students each year.
Great. One more follow-up question on that. What is that property zoned, the old mill property?
Ms. Consuelo?
It's owned residential.
Yeah, because it was a school property, so that's what I thought, but I wanted to make sure I had it right. Yeah.
Okay. I've got 3 or 4 questions left. I'm not going to get to all of them. Yes. What happens with the information captured on flock cameras?
Chief?
So we limit the sharing of our flock cameras. I think some of this is probably in response to some issues that have come through with flock from across the country, coming out of Texas. We do not share with those states. We share locally in certain surrounding states, and that information is retained in the flock system.
Great. All right. We would like to thank all of our tech speakers and you, the audience, for participation in the 19th Annual Shape of Addison Town Meeting. It's not easy being up here answering all the questions. We look forward to next year's program. Thank you, and good night. Okay.